What's up, Fit Fam? So today we are going to do another how-to technique video for you guys. Today we're going to go through a pretty basic movement, but it's going to help you out with a lot of movements down the track, particularly if you're going to start doing a lot of weight movements. We are doing the bodyweight squat. Now with the bodyweight squat, this is the foundation for a lot of other movements, particularly a loaded squat, a front squat, all those kind of movements. You want to make sure you're getting the basics done correctly and you're getting the right technique without pain in order to be able to progress with your training. Now it's really important to make sure you're getting the bodyweight squat done correctly and pain-free. For everyone, this is going to be slightly different. So for example, the way your feet are angled and the way which you come down for your squat will depend on the way your body is built as well. So for some people, they have longer legs. For some people, they may have different pains within the ankles and heels. It really depends on you and yourself. So you are your own best scientist, so it's really important to play around a little bit, but I'm gonna give you some cues that I use to a lot of clients to help them out, particularly when they get started. Okay, now with the squat, what you wanna be doing is, first things first, you wanna have your toes pointed just slightly outwards. So I like to have about a 15-30 degree turn on the outside. Now what this is gonna do is gonna enable me to be able to get my hips back and get down low within the squat. We are gonna try to get our hips below our knees for this exercise. So by having that slight twist on the outside, it's gonna allow our body to do that as opposed to something like a deadlift. Okay, so first one is toes pointed outwards. The second one is with your chest. You wanna keep your chest up, proud, and shoulders back. One thing you do not want in this movement, you don't wanna start hunching over where it's gonna just basically allow you to collapse on the inside. You wanna keep our chest up nice and proud, particularly when you start doing things like back squats. You need to have your back in a nice strong position, which chest up is really aligning your spine as opposed to aligning your chest. Toes out, chest up. What I like to do, some people like to have the hands out as well. You can do this for a bit of counterbalance. First thing I'm gonna show you guys side on is I have a slight, my hips come backwards slightly before I've even started that squat. So before I've even started to move my body down, hips come slightly backwards. And then what I do is I then almost start to sit into my heels, come down nice and low for that one. What as well I'm doing is my knees are gonna follow the same direction as my toes. So if my toes are pointed out 30 degrees, the direction of my knees are gonna come out. Sometimes I see people when they do this, the knees start to collapse on the way inside. We don't wanna have that. We wanna have our knees following our toes on the way out. So, hips back, arms out. We're gonna then sit into the heels. One of the cues I give people quite often is sit the weight in your heels. Now, to be super clear, the weight isn't in your heels. Quite often people will overload their toes, hence why we give that cue. You wanna have the weight going through your midfoot, not so much your heels, but often when people do squats, they often will come forward a little bit or they'll bend their knees before they've actually moved their hips back a little bit. What this does, it means you start to come forward up off your toes, which lifts your heels. We do not want that. We wanna have a nice, even distribution of weight in our feet. So, hips back, that's gonna align our weight. Arms out, coming down nice and low. We want to get to below 90 degrees, so our hips are below our knees, all the way in that bottom position. This is the bottom position of the squat, the toughest part of the movement. And then from there, we want to stand straight back up. You can, if you want, you can actually use your arms to come down and all the way back up. But these are some of the real simple cues. So, real simply, feet 15 to 30 degree outwards, arms coming out, hips back first, chest stays up. We're going to sit the weight within the midfoot to heel, depending on what your distribution is, all the way down to the bottom, and then standing back up tall for that one. Make sure when you're doing this movement, you may have to tweak, particularly your feet movement and your knees, to make sure you are doing this pain-free as well. Thanks so much, guys, for watching this tutorial. Hope you guys learned a little bit. If you have any questions, please leave them for me in the comments and I'll get back to them as soon as you can. Other than that, guys, happy training and let's keep smashing it.